Today I made a list of the 10 things that I think yoga teachers need to know before starting their own business. I'm not necessarily talking to those of you who want to open yoga studios or go the route of owning a building or having a lease or anything like that. But those of you who want to become full-time yoga teachers, whether it's a side hustle or it is your full-time job, if you're considering quitting your full-time job to move into the world of yoga teaching as a business. I did that almost 10 years ago now, and I've learned a few things along the way, and I think these tips or these contemplations will be really helpful for you. So my name is Ashley. Welcome. I help yoga teachers with exactly that, with putting themselves online, developing systems, and creating a business so that they can earn income and make a bigger impact in the world. I work primarily online from home. This is my full-time job. And there's a lot more to it. So let's get into those list of 10 things that I think yoga teachers need to know before they start their own business. Number 1, your friends and family may not understand or support what you're doing at first. They may not get it. I remember being so excited after teacher training. I wanted to share with everybody. I had this life-changing, transformational experience through training. I wanted everybody to know how amazing that was. Now, little did I know that sharing an experience like that is difficult with those who have not experienced something like that. So it's hard to explain. And it's the same with business. If you're very excited about starting up as a yoga teacher and in business, you may not get the kind of excitement that you're looking for from your friends and family. So my recommendation is to surround yourself with the people who are excited for you, who get it. People like myself or those that I work with or online friends and family, or maybe you have some local yoga teacher friends who also understand, and also in your cohort of yoga teacher trainees. So your others who are also graduated with you. Make sure to surround yourself with others who understand. Now, it doesn't mean your friends and family will never come around. It's just that they don't get it. Keep going on the path and allow your friends and family to have whatever thoughts they want and keep doing what you're doing. Number 2, most startups, most new businesses take an average of 5 years to make a profit, meaning most business owners rarely pay themselves in the first 5 years. So don't expect a return on your business or a big profit in the first few months. I see this as a common thing as someone wanting to start their yoga business right away, low overhead expenses. However, it still does take some time. The money that you're earning initially in your business should oftentimes be reinvested to make your business grow faster, grow larger, and to enhance the quality of what you're doing. So if you do make money on a workshop or running some online courses or whatever, yes, you can pay yourself a little bit, but I do recommend taking some of that profit and putting it back into your business. And that might mean investing in more skills, a different set of training so that you can understand business a little bit more. Maybe you want to specialize in a yoga path that you're not currently specializing in. And so investing in yourself and also the equipment that it takes to run a business, you need to keep those in mind. Yoga business and a lot of business is a long game strategy. Number 3, you actually do not need to create an LLC, a limited liability company or corporation, limited liability company. Whatever it stands for, you don't need to create an LLC or a legal entity right away. I didn't do this until I got to the point where I needed it because I was buying a yoga studio. So at first, you can make your yoga teaching a side hobby or a side business that is very low liability anyway. There's not a whole lot of risk involved when it comes to a yoga business if you're working at various studios or you're working from home. Now, the thing that you do need to get is liability insurance, protect yourself. You'll also want to make sure that you have waivers and disclaimers and anything else that you can do to protect yourself. You don't need an LLC right away. I see this question come up and I just need you to be clear on that. Now, if you do want to make it official, it's going to be different from state to state. and country to country. So make sure that you talk to the appropriate legal representatives, tax accountants, attorneys, and whoever it needs to be. Another place you can go for great information is your local SBDC, which is your Small Business Development Center. Most cities, even my small town here, has one. I remember meeting with someone out of the local library, and they gave me some great advice for my local business and what I needed to do to move forward. So it's very location-based, so check out your local SBDC. Small Business Development Center, and it's a free resource because they want businesses in the area to thrive. Of course, they want local businesses to succeed. It's part of the economy. You don't need an LLC, but they can help you through it. Same with attorneys, tax advisors, that kind of thing. So you'll want to get with those people early. Number 4, graduating yoga teacher training rarely prepares you for the world of business. Rarely. So a 200-hour yoga teacher training has this much business training involved, and that's a requirement of 1 hour. And they can kind of skirt around that too. So that hour is typically a conversation on independent contractor versus employee. Maybe you talk about opening a yoga studio or what that takes. You probably talk about insurance, some legalities as far as music and that kind of things. You might touch on those things. You may or may not. There's no set things that a yoga teacher training needs to teach you on business. They can pretty much share with you whatever they want and call it your business training. So an hour is so limited. And so if your teacher trainees or your trainers are not well equipped with the world of business, they might even be giving you some outdated information on marketing or social media and you don't know it. So it's best to find some experts who are in it in real time and get to know them, whether or not they are in the yoga industry. Some of my favorite people to follow on podcasts and YouTube are not yoga teachers, but I apply their teachings to the yoga world, which is still really beneficial. Don't take all your business advice from your teacher training. It does not prepare you. Make sure that you are following others in the business world, the online business world, or the local business world to gather that information. Number 5, running a business costs money. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to not spend money when you're trying to make money as a business. There will be expenses. And yes, you can deduct those expenses from your taxes, meaning when you count up everything you've earned, anything that you've spent on your business will not be taxed, which is nice. Ask a tax person that, ask a tax advisor. This is not legal advice. So it does cost a little bit of money to run your business. And like I said earlier, it's beneficial to you to earn some money and take that money, or most of it, some of it, and put it back into your business. So a couple things that I think everybody needs as a yoga teacher, whether you're teaching at the park or you're teaching online, is a scheduling software, a scheduling and booking software where someone can book and pay for your services on the internet, on a web page. And it doesn't have to be a website, but just somewhere where someone can go with a click of a button and a link to pay you and book your class. Now, I use a software called Offering Tree, which is actually an all-in-one. So it's your website, scheduling and booking, your calendar, appointments, memberships, courses, on-demand video library, and email marketing, and like all the business things that you would need. I do have a video where I talk about that a little bit more. I'll link it right here so you can see that. I have a video where I'm demonstrating and talking about that a little bit more. Make sure to watch if you're interested. I use Offering Tree, and any other scheduling software will work, but something like that, and it's likely going to cost a little bit of money, at least. Typically around $15. Some scheduling and booking softwares take a percentage, so 5%. 5% fee, or some of them are a little bit more. So Offering Tree, because it's all in one, you have the option between $29 and $59 a month. The $29 a month gets you pretty much everything that you need, minus a couple extra things, which are not a big deal. You can also get a discount for your first 3 months. So again, check out that link, that other video that I shared with you. I'll also link Offering Tree at offeringtree.com/ashes is where you'll go for more information. Beyond that, if you're teaching online, I recommend Zoom. So Zoom is $15 a month. That way you are ensured that you can do meetings longer than 40 minutes. You can do classes longer than 40 minutes. But you could get away without it, essentially, if you wanted just 30-minute classes. So the main thing is some sort of scheduling and booking software, somewhere that people can book you, and that's going to be one of your biggest expenses. Beyond that, it's going to be equipment and hardware that you might need. So a microphone, your phone, and you can do a lot on your phone now with marketing, with education, with anything for yoga business. So you're going to need to invest in a couple things. I invest sporadically in time. So back in 2020, when we were all doing a lot of online stuff, I didn't have all this equipment that I have, which is still pretty inexpensive. But every month or two, I would get a new piece of equipment. So I got a webcam, and then the next month or two, I'd get some of the cables for my microphone. And then the next month, I would get a ring light or a light kit, something like that. So I invested over time. You don't need all the stuff right away to get started, but you do need to spend a little bit of money to run a business. And I don't think you need to be scared of that. Price your offerings accordingly. Make sure you're actually doing the thing that you set out to do, which is teach yoga and get students, and they should be paying you. If you're curious about pricing, I also have a video talking all about pricing. I think it's even 90 minutes, so you can learn a lot more about pricing. I'll link that in the description as well and up here. So that's my video on pricing. So check those out after. Number 6, along with that, business is a numbers game. Make sure that you are tracking. That's one of the most important things you have to do as a business owner is track the numbers. Now, you don't have to get super specific, but you do have to notice the trends and not get upset or take it personal when things go up and down. If your income goes up and down, it's not about you. If there's less people at your classes, there's likely other factors that are dictating that. So if you're just getting started out and you're getting 1 or 2 people in your classes each week and you're wondering, what is wrong with me? That's the wrong question to ask. The right question to ask is, what is happening, or why is this happening with what I'm doing? What marketing am I doing? What am I not doing? How am I inviting people? What other things can I do? You need to be looking at those numbers and factors rather than thinking that it's about you, because it's not. It takes an average of 7 times for someone to see something in order for them to want to do it. So you have to invite someone 7 times. They have to see an advertisement 7 times before they join. So a lot of it is going to be numbers and how much you're putting yourself out there. Number 7, a fact that I wish wasn't true, but it is. If you are now a yoga teacher on your own, doing your own yoga business, you are going to spend a lot more time on a computer than you realize. You might think that having a yoga business means that you're teaching yoga a majority of the time. That's your full-time job, right? Wrong. Your full-time job is now business owner. It's not yoga teacher, it's business owner. Now, if you want to be employed at a few studios and be a yoga teacher, you're a yoga teacher. But if you're a yoga teacher entrepreneur, you own a business, you are now a business owner. Your primary functions are going to be running the business, all the back end stuff. Now, I like this stuff. I think it's fun. Marketing, advertising, tracking, bookkeeping, analytics, all that. So you are going to have to be on a computer doing a lot of those things. I know there are yoga teachers out there who are not on a computer and business owners who don't use a computer, but in this day and age, it's going to be important to keep up with the times. One of my tips for doing this is to notice where your energy is best served at certain times of day. So for me, I'm much better doing videos like this midday. Emails can come later in the day when I don't have to be on, but I can, it's so much easier. So notice the energy of the day and when you would be best for certain tasks. Being on video, making Instagram reels, making content, that involves energy. And then there's those tasks like responding to emails and checking the data that can be done at other times of the day. So that's one thing that I've been really aware of for my own yoga business is knowing what times of the day that I work best for certain tasks. Another of my favorite books that I'm going to recommend to you is called The E-Myth Revisited. Also linked in the description. The E-Myth Revisited is a book about business and about giving great examples about people who start a business because it's their passion and then realize you've got to delegate a few things because you're going to wear a lot of different hats. Okay, so check out that book from your library or you can buy it if you want to. Okay, number 8, you're going to have bad days. off days. You're also going to have really good days. You're going to have a span of all the kinds of days. It's going to be good, it's going to be bad, it's going to be okay. You need to know that it's okay to have those fluctuations. Life and business ebbs and flows. So what I want you to do is make sure you take one day off per week from your business, at least one day. When you have a passion or a hobby that becomes your career, becomes more of your life, right away it might feel like, yes, I can work 24/7. I'm doing what I love. But I promise you that's going to lead you to the fastest path to burnout. So make sure that you are taking a day off from teaching, a day off from your computer, a day off from responding to any messages, so that you can have that white space, that clear space to just step away for a moment. So take one day off per week. I know as a new yoga teacher, that was hard for me. I was teaching all of the days and I would sub all of the classes, but it didn't do me any services or didn't do me well moving forward. So I did have to learn that the hard way. And I hope you don't learn it the hard way. I hope you actually take this advice and take that one day off per week. Along with that, taking a day off per week, also with personal care and self-care, make sure you are sticking to your personal practice. Your personal practice becomes way more important now that you own a business and now that you're really diving into your passion for giving to others, for being that healer. So make sure your personal practice doesn't fall to the wayside. When I was doing a lot of teaching full-time, a lot of classes, I always made sure to do 1 or 2 yoga classes at a studio I didn't work at. And that just gave me this space to feel like I was doing something for me. So I recommend that you do the same. Number 9, we're almost there. With business, if you are a primary caretaker or you have other obligations in your life, your business may grow slower for a time. So it's important not to compare yourself to someone who is single, living in Bali, who has 50 to 60 hours a week to work on their business and do what it is they do, when you have 3 kids at home and aging parents and all these life things that are thrown at you. I'm one of those types of people where right now I'm in more of a season of my life where I'm doing a lot more parenting. So my business isn't going to explode and I don't want it to, but I see a lot of people who are in this similar industry who are able to work a lot more hours and go much further, much faster than I am. And I'm okay with that. So you have to know that when you have other life things, you have to prioritize what is most important to you. And for me, oftentimes it is family. I do still want to run my business, but it's not going to grow as fast or as big. I'm not taking on lots of partnerships or collaborations or doing these world traveling things or doing a lot of retreats because that would take me away from my family. So I'm focused on my family while also running my business from home, and it's growing at a slow and nice and steady pace. So no comparisons, whatever pace you're growing at is awesome. And last, number 10, last but not least, and there's probably so much more that I want to share with you, the more time you have, the more time you're probably going to waste. So I say that, being a parent, I don't have as much time. I actually find I get a lot more done because I only have a certain amount of time. I don't have all the free time in the world. When I quit my full-time job in 2013 and said, I'm going to work my online business and that's what I'm going to do, I did not have a system or a path to actually do that. So I sat at my computer, and I remember this. I sat at my computer one of the first days after I'd quit my full-time job, and I was just like, what do I do now? I see my computer. I have all this time to work. What do I do? And it was really an eye-opening moment for me to realize I didn't have a clear path, a clear step-by-step. And what I didn't have at the time is coaching or mentorship to help me along this path. So along with that, I do want to mention, I really want you to check out my free masterclass to help you with some of this process. And you can find it at ashesyoga.com/register. So there's a free masterclass. I'll actually link it down below in case the link changes. So if it does, make sure you click the link in the pinned comment or in the description for my masterclass, which is going to help share with you a little bit more about my journey from full-time employee to full-time yoga teaching locally to full-time online entrepreneur and beyond, and also share with you some tips on software and all the things that I just talked about in this list of 10 things. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful for you and gave you some words of wisdom, some tips, or some thoughts as you move forward in your own yoga business.